us, God, in the center of your will all throughout this year. And so, Father, we pray as we bring this year to a close, God, that you will help us, Lord, be able to live out your plan and purpose for each and every one of our lives. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. So, for those of you who are not here today and you're catching this by way of the stream, can y'all see everything on the screen? Okay, good. We're going to kind of run through this a little bit. As you already know, our leadership gatherings are designed to help us develop, discern, and provide deliverables in our ministry. Context to gain momentum, as well as manage and sustain momentum. Really, what doesn't happen and what kind of should happen, even more so in terms of a ministry context, is when you're planning a church, rebuilding a church, rebranding a church, reestablishing a church, getting off of the ground requires something like called rocket boosters. And so I want us to, as we kind of go through this turn that we're in and head toward momentum, rocket boosters, they are not the main portion part of the shuttle or the ship. They help get it up off the ground, and then they kind of venture off. So as we start to put in some more key components in place, like what I've done with the worship team most recently, gone over kind of what articles, bylaws, structural codes of discipline things look like. That kind of establishes and sets standards in some areas. And as I'll do that more church-wide, you'll start to see kind of those who are here with us because they believe vision, they believe in the movement of ministry, and then you'll find those who are here who are just looking for title and or position. And so I don't want you to be moved by that or let that be something that causes concern from you. As we get toward the end of this, Cheryl, I'm going to let you share a little bit without too much detail about what you and I talked about earlier in the week. And having said that, I think what we are in a place, when Bishop Page preached last night, what struck me was when he said, Israel is a mixed multitude of people until they get the law from Moses that has the statutes with instruction that puts them in organization by tribes, by grouping, and by function. And then he tied that together with churches are not churches until the word of God becomes codified. And we call that articles, bylaws, really strategy, functioning in terms of who's going to do what, when, how, where, and why. And within that, now you start to see people's value systems, beliefs, perspectives of what they think, how they think, and why. And so then he went further and he talked about how Moses received the tablets of stone from God written by his own finger. And he kept driving in on this point that God himself had given Moses the stone with the law on it already written. But the second time around, Moses had to hew out the stone himself, and God would rewrite it. And he made this point of, don't allow, this is just coming to me to share with you all, don't allow Moses threw the tablets of stone down because of the state and the condition that the people were in after he came down over the mountain. So after he came down on the mountain, he saw the people mixed in idolatry. Moses took the tablets, threw them down because he was like, I just been with God for 40 days. That's all, 40 days. And y'all acting like this. As we grow as a church and as this group expands more, don't be so much moved by what people do and what they say. Because you are in a time, unlike us, most of us in this room, minus Cheryl, and those of you who are listening to this and will catch us on a replay, you've been in the Lord 15, 20 years. You've been in church 15, 20, 30 years. You've seen a lot. So for you, there's a level of maturity that you have that those who are going to be coming do not have. Like some of our men, I've been wrestling with them all week. Many of them, you have one of them who was churched, but still lacks some structure and discipline. Then you have others that are not churched. So You can't be moved by the antics. And when I say antics, they're immaturity. So part of what God wants us to do is organize ourselves in such a way where we're able to literally do ministry to develop discipleship for growth, evangelism, and extension of the kingdom of God. So don't throw your tablets down when people show their immaturity. Don't do that. Because I'd hate for you, and me, when I say this to you, I'm saying this to me. I'd hate for any of us to have to start a process over again with God because we throw down what God's given us because we're frustrated with people. Don't get so frustrated with people that you move away from who it is that God's called you to be and what he's called you to do. Make sense? All right. So I said all that to say a key in this is sustaining momentum. We can get momentum, but then sustaining the momentum that we get requires for us to consistently be in our routines and our systems with consistency, with excellence. All right. And I'll talk some more about that. So sustaining momentum in today's time is about how do leaders process the lens of God and culture. It's all right for us to process our lens of God with each other, because I think in the room we got Apostolic, Holiness, Baptist, Pentecostal. Gene, you more Trinitarian or are you more Apostolic? What side of Pentecostal stream are you? So he may be neither. Well, I can say Gene this way, a little bit more non-traditional, even though he may come out of traditional settings, a little bit more non-traditional in his view of things. Would I categorize? Am I accurate if I say it that way? Yeah. Yeah, that would be him. That would be him. And if I push the envelope forward, he would tend to pick through tradition and be like, that ain't Bible, that ain't Bible, that ain't Bible, that ain't Bible. Oh, wait a minute, you got Tupac on your phone? Love it. I thought I was the only one. Thought I was the only one. Come on, mama's a G, huh? Well, yeah, she is. God's intention for the body of Christ is always to grow and to grow exponentially. Growth is measured in two terms, quantity and quality. Okay. So in other words, we want to be both deep spiritually in terms of our maturity and wide in regards to our ability to expand and to grow numerically. We want to be both and, not either or. So we've begun the process of growth by way of reviewing our event schedule in conjunction with our follow-up activities. That's kind of been the metrics of how we're trying to get things done. Our follow-up activities include our ability to improve and increase our touch points. So our social media response, we have yet to do, no, we have done direct email. We have done cell phone contact. We have not done well with our email form, and that's a reverse forms from our website. And the greatest connection is always person to person and word of mouth. However, I do think we have some good places and component parts in regards to this, particularly what's taking place with Davina in Paris, what's happened with the Halls and their families, what's taking place with even Mike Jordan and those things. I think we're on our way to doing better and doing pretty good. But these are kind of like the wheels of the ministry beginning to turn a little bit for our ability to grow. So our connection with Communio has enabled us to re-engage through our social media platforms, as well as our email and text follow-up. We did have over 100 social media shares with our back to school event. Our algorithm reach was for us in a 5 to 10 mile radius. We set it that way for it to be that. I'm getting ready to expand that to now a 20 to 30 mile radius. And I want to see what it's going to look like in terms of extra connectivity. I'll talk about more of that in a second. This week, I'll be meeting with Communio and developing strategic plans to include our own strategic plan of how we're going to reach people. Again, our dynamics and demographics speak to a lot of single families and then also speak to a lot of blended families. And so as I work with them, I'm helping them understand the African-American context a little bit better. So again, this is marketing to an online audience as a means of making connection with us as a church. Social media really is a platform place whereby which you can grow as a local church. But you've got to there's some nuances to it that are important in terms of its use. So that is the new face-to-face. I won't spend too much time on this, but just when you put all these events together, I have some thoughts. Our back to school, back to church. We hadn't talked about back to church Sunday and parents' night out. How did the events go in your opinion? Cheryl and Mary, you all were here. Y'all first. Speaking about back to church Sunday, parents' night out. How do you think that it went?
Parents' night didn't go too good.
Okay.
Didn't know what show up.
Right.
Well, yes, it did. We had one person.
Mm-hmm. Turns out it was two people.
Two? Okay.
I'll get to the two people part in just a second.
The church was nice.
I think on our side, we did well in terms of the food, the preparation, advertisement, what we do. So we did well on that side of it. However, given the nature of what we're doing in terms of parents' night out, here's what Lady and I, we discussed among ourselves with the young lady that came and dropped the children off. The children had been here before, but I had not seen that particular young lady before. And the actual parent, that young lady was not the parent. The parent, Margaret and I met together outside when she came back to pick the children up. Here's what Margaret, myself, and Lady discussed among ourselves. What we could not, we meant to include Terrence and Tanita also. We couldn't figure out if these were girlfriends going out, if they were a couple, because one of them was pregnant. The mother of the children was actually pregnant again with another child. And this person she was going out is, we don't know if that was her date, if they were sister girls having a moment out with themselves. We don't know. And so it struck me to say, we might need to be a little bit more clear in our advertisement in terms of who we are. And let's just kick around just for about maybe 4 or 5 minutes here, 3 or 4 minutes here, as we do our marketing on social media. Of course, I'll put myself on the chopping block first. I am old school guarding our presentation from the standpoint of I don't want us in any way, shape, or form to be associated with LGBTQIA. And this could have been a bi or lesbian couple, and we watched their kids. Now, some may argue on the other side of that to say, well, it's a service we're providing to community. And a service that we provide to community may give us the opportunity to be able to win and or reach. Which is to say, let me check and see. Okay, we are. Which is to say that, oh yeah, we got plenty. Make sure we got enough juice to make it through the day. Which is to say, how far do we go? Should we use language that says when we do like date night, which I'll discuss in a minute. This was parents' night. I'm going to change the language to date night. Who do we say one natural born man, natural born woman on our material? Do we not say that? What do y'all think? Mary shaking her head no.
Because I work with that community.
Okay.
You know, and as such, they're already stigmatized.
Okay.
You know, and you don't want to add more stigma to what's going on. But you don't have to be, they don't have to be blatant about it. You have those that are, you know, pants hanging, you know, like trying to look like a dude. But to be respectful in the language, I wouldn't know how you would put that. But to be respectful in the language that you use. Okay. Respectful language we use. You can't put up there, you know, we don't want gay couples. We don't want lesbian couples. We don't, you know.
Yeah, because what would you say?
Let me be honest with y'all. I don't. Now, if Lady was here, she would be fighting against. Well, she wouldn't fight against me, but she and I have different views and perspectives on this. Hers is evangelism. Mine is standard.
I was going there.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mary.
You know, I mean, the Bible tells us, you know, to go out and compel men.
Yeah.
You know, and if we're compelling, we don't want to, in the same tone and in the same language, push them away.
Okay.
You know, you never know. Deliverance is right around the corner for somebody.
Say somebody
True.
read the advertisement, okay, they bringing their child, and somebody heard it. You got two families coming up, man and woman.
Whatever.
Yeah. You taking this child in, then you gonna stop them at the door talking about, you can't come in. They'll be like, why? Because you gay.
Yeah.
That could be a problem.
So that would be an inviting ourselves to potential lawsuit and danger, which we will be well prepared for because of what I've done. But I am into the evangelistic part. Erica, let me hear from you.
Well, we've talked about this before, and you can't. Well, you can't. My opinion is you can't call out that one if you're not going to call out everything.
I got you.
And if we don't accept gay couples, do we then not accept couples that aren't married that have children?
Right. So
where do we draw the line?
If they're shacked up with each other, do we not receive their children to watch them for a game night?
Right.
Okay. But yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Cheryl.
You'll come out right, because you know my mind.
Just say it how it's coming to you. Say what now?
We have it in church.
We're having the event in church.
Have it in church.
Oh yeah, we got it in church. It says all church all over the place.
No.
We got it in this church, yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got the kids here in church.
Yeah.
The parents ain't married.
Right.
So you gonna stop them at the door because they not married? We can't watch their kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right, I got you.
Unless you're gonna put it all the way. This is my opinion. This is just
across the board. I got what y'all are saying.
Put it all the way across the board. Then you can't say, well, you can't. Sin is sin, and if you're gonna call it out, you got to call it out all the way across the board.
Okay.
That's Erica's opinion. Erica, like I said, the only thing I run around here is my mouth. So, yeah.
Finna.
You be gonna provide the service or not?
Yep. I hear you.
All in a nutshell.
Yeah. Provide the service or not. So somebody's phone is ringing. Is that my phone?
That's over that way.
What I think.
Oh, yes, it is. I said it's over that way. I feel the vibration.
So, like I said, I'm going to make a change. And what Leigh and I have to talk through is the reason I'm bringing this up is because of something she and I are planning to do in February, and an event that we're going to lead into in February. I'll just mention a little bit of it now. To do something called date night. Now, when you do date night, I think what we can do so that we keep it open is not necessarily hold it in the building. And then with date night, we have a potential, because we want to talk to you about relationships. And if we're going to talk to you about relationships, that's when my standard of man and woman going to come out. And then that's when my standard of no shacking is going to come out. And then that's when all of my stuff is going to come out. So it depends on, I think for me.
That's a different context.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, you're saying is you're headed towards a permanent situation. So whether you're in a marriage, it's too tempting apart, or engaged, it should be leading to something.
Right.
You're saying date night. No, you said parents night out.
Right, for the first one.
You said parents night out.
Yeah. So for parents night out,
parent
is a parent. I got you. All right, so we're agreeing together as a group, because I want everybody's input, and those of you who are going to hear this discussion, I want you to inbox me, email me, get back in touch with me. It seems synonymous among us that are discussing this, that parents night out, as we do it again, we're going to be open to everybody. And we're going to receive everybody's children as they come in as a means of evangelism. And we're not going to make any kind of demarcation at all.
Right.
All right. And then when we do date night, different kind of thing. And even if I were to do something, I'm saying if I were to do something for date night, I would not do it inside of our building context, because I have codified and written our property cannot be used for gay weddings and ceremonies. I mean, that's on file with the state. So, but relationship training is not me performing a service.
Right. That's all.
So yeah, we'll talk through it some more so that we all get on the same page about that, or how we're gonna do what we do. Go ahead, Senator.
People have an issue with TD Jakes, right?
Yeah.
What he was doing talk show.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a guy who apparently was
Mm-hmm.
he's a talk show. You're not bishop.
in that moment.
Talk show, in
Right,
that
right,
moment.
right. I hear what
You
you're
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that moment,
Yeah.
he's talk show.
Right.
What the hell you have?
Right.
Oh, he's.
It's something else if he's in his pulpit and he got chapter and verse open
Right.
versus him in kind of a community cultural, marketplace dynamic. I get what you're saying. We're gonna kick this around some more because let's just get through this and then we'll get there.
Can I just one more thing?
Yes.
For the parents' night out, again, Erica's opinion. I think that we need to be in the community more before we do another one because people don't drop their kids off like they used to at the church.
Not to just given the climate and the times and the culture that we're in, people need to know our faces, know we're safe.
Right.
Okay, good. Which is to say, I feel you, and I think I got some things in here that's going to speak to that. Some areas I think we got to improve on our digital follow-up and database creation on our end. We're good with that 900 name list. We need to kind of, Erica, between me, you, Sunita, and Margaret, we need to segment out that by groupings of how we're going to invite people. And I'm trying to think of a way because Lady and I have the grid sheet that Erica Cherry did. But I think on that grid sheet, if I'm looking at it, we have name, address, phone number, number of children. What we don't have is marital status. We don't have that.
Marital status, age of the children.
We do have age of the children.
We do have age, grade level.
We have age, but we don't have grade level.
Right.
So we need marital status and say it again so I can say it for the recording.
Never mind, not grade level because that's going to change. So just make sure we just have the age.
The age.
Of the child.
So she and I will get that list back out, and then we'll have a virtual meeting of how we chop this up and reorganize this. Okay. I think we got to do well there. For anything in general. Anything in general.
The grade thing would come good for me for the backpacks.
But the thing is it's going to change from year to year.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the age is more important. Based upon age, given our population, we can't necessarily say age is going to match with grade. We can't necessarily say that. But you're wrong for that. All right, so postcard. I do want us to do this well. I want us to do with our touch points well. I don't think that what we have yet to do is, I know I have not. Erica, have you done direct mail with mailing out postcards to say thank you for visiting? Sheila, I'm asking you. I don't know if you have or not. The next time we meet, let us know. Get in touch with Erica and I to say, hey, Bishop, I have sent out postcards. Because I think that that's an added touch, and we can do it digitally, email, and we can do it direct mail. I like to do both. I like to do a digital touch, and I like to do a physical touch.
And Lady and I did work on the new thank you for visiting letter.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. I want us to kind of get into that good, and then I'll handle the text blast part. Or either one, y'all are trained on the community stuff. We just need to get that sequence down of when are we going to send a text message? When are we going to send a postcard? When are we going to send an email? We need to have that sequence down. Because I think once somebody visits us, if we touch them 3 weeks in a row, there's a likelihood of a return. And I want to be able to start tracking that. Okay. I think we've got to do a little better on our connection from event to Sunday visitation to membership connection and ministry engagement participation. Let me explain what I mean. So let's take, for example, Paris and Davina. So they've been coming a number of Sundays. They now want to make this their church. They were already set and scheduled with me for marriage training. So now I think they've got in touch with you about being in class this month. So I want to look at a way in which, and I think this is my thoughts about this. I'm not saying God said this to me, but this is my thought. I think what the Lord is doing with us is giving us a little bit at a time to see how well we manage a little bit at a time, to make sure we get our systems down. So we need to be able to track from when somebody visits, when they follow up, and Sheila got them scheduled to see me on that third Sunday, to making a decision, I now want to join the ministry, to being in class, to now participating in a ministry auxiliary. So the reason I use Paris and Davina is because after service Sunday, Paris walks up to me and goes, "You know I play drums, right?" I said, "What?" Let me say how I really said. I said, "Negro, what?" He plays drums. He said, "I play drums and sax." So I said, "Now, look at here." So we need to kind of get that, start tracking that very well, so that we can speed the process up, so the Lord can give us more. And I think if we handle what we're doing well with them, same thing with Mike Jordan with the job he works on Sunday. Mike said to me a while ago, he said, "You know, I play piano, but I've gotten away from it, and I'm just kind of working on my skills so I can be." I think what has happened, Mary, he kind of maybe slipped in here on a Thursday night, and he see how tight Lady runs her stuff, and he don't want to be embarrassed in dealing with her, because she's gonna demand excellence when it comes to that stuff. That's just who she is. So. And then we don't want people to just connect, but we want them to get involved and get on teams, because that builds community. That makes sense? Okay. So now let me talk to you about the schedule moving forward this fall. You have the Kojic Triad Conference, which is going to be taking place this week on Friday and Saturday at 6. The pastors and elders and all men will meet. 7:15 will be the main service with Anthony Gilliard. Ladies will be at 10 a.m. On Saturday morning. And then, of course, you have our ladies also at the Women of Destiny. So what I'm saying is, ladies can show their faces at the Kojic thing and then beeline over to Bethel, or you can just go straight to Bethel. Lady is not going to be speaking until the last speaker at Bethel. She is the last speaker, so she probably won't even get up until 2:00. Okay. But I'm letting you all decide how are you all going to do that. And I'm not mandating for you to have to do the triad stuff. Dominion Week looks like this. Wednesday night, Sellers will be with us on October 16th. Thursday night, Bishop Darren Johnson. And I can't call his name right now. Tate is has gotten another job. He's working in the superintendent's office, so he will not be here. So we ain't got to worry about doing hotels and that kind of stuff for him. I do think Marseille from Branch of the Vine, which is one of our churches, and Jesse Simons, they will be here Thursday night, so I need to have seating for them. They're going to miss the main night, which is Friday night, which is district night, which is official launch of the district. Mary and Cheryl, you will be announced on that night. Finner, you and I need to talk about what you want to do in terms of an announcement for you on that night, and we just need to all be on the same page.
What night is it?
This is Friday night,
I won't be
October
here
the
Friday
18th.
night.
You have to be here that night. I'm giving all of my certificates and stuff back to Chris. Chris is going to retype them, and then your signature got to go on them as a church clerk.
All right, I'll move some things around. Okay.
Let me find out if I can get this done in the workers meeting.
Okay.
If I get it done in the workers meeting, it will be fine. If not, I won't break your flow. I hear you. I'm checking with you.
I have the program we did for last year. So I need Bishop Golden's picture.
Okay.
His bio.
Okay. I'll do an email between you and Nicole, because they use different ones.
Okay.
You just explain to Nicole. I'll explain to you who you are, and then that way you'll be sure. It's Nicole and Chris. You already got Chris's information, but you need Nicole's. Yeah. You probably can get it from Chris. Okay. He may have it. But I need to make sure you have Nicole's email address anyway. And then there is absolutely nothing going to happen on that Saturday. I've yet to choose a speaker for Sunday morning for my 19th pastoral anniversary. I may have Liston Page in here. I may have Alex. We'll see. Why you say ooh, man? Why you say ooh?
I've watched him grow up in the ministry.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
From his dad.
Oh, yeah. From Highway all the way up?
All the way down.
Yeah, that's my man.
So you don't need me, sir.
Looking like his dad.
Look just like his daddy. You should see him last night. He was looking just like his dad last night. Say that again, Cheryl.
So you don't need me, sir, for nothing.
On that Saturday? Yeah, I'm not. I told, because both Jesse and Marseille are preaching out. They'll be with me Thursday night, but Friday and Saturday, Jesse's going to be in New York. Marseille will be in South Carolina. So there's no sense of me trying to do nothing on that Saturday. Because if I was going to do something for them and Tate. and then a couple of the other churches, but I'm not gonna worry about all of that. And then Sunday morning, I'll figure out. I haven't chosen anybody yet, and I may not have anybody just because it's a budgetary constraints. Because of that week, I'm taking care of the budget that week for everybody, and then that Sunday, I'm like, it just depends. So we shall see, and I am absolutely okay with, whatever you all are planning. We just do that. I'm good with that. Okay, so I can be right out the way with stuff. We ain't got to have nothing special on that day. So go ahead.
Well, go ahead. We'll finish. Then I'll go back.
All right. So moving through the fall. Yeah, let me just roll through everything and we'll come back so you guys have dates. Women's Conference November 2nd at Downing and Gross. Lady Erica for details. Have all ladies connect with them for that. Nehemiah's Nook Holiday Party. We'll pause here for a moment because I believe you told me on the phone, Cheryl, Saturday the 30th would be our day for Nehemiah's Nook, for our entire church, for everybody engaged to be involved. But then you have this on November 2nd, which
that's New Hope.
That's New Hope.
Yeah.
So New Hope is handling this themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got nothing to do with that.
We're gonna do this. So our focus is still the 30th. Got it. Okay. So here's what will happen on the 30th. St. John's, and Sam Green III will have his church partner with us, and also Dawkins from Triumph. They will join with us on November the 30th for our Nehemiah's Nook Holiday Party. Okay, our giveaway stuff. So what I want to do is, Lady A has Becky's number, but I know Becky runs praise and worship for St. John's, and Tamara is the administrator for Triumph. I need to find their outreach person and have their outreach person get with you, so you can tell them what food. Right, yeah. So that way, we can have this stuff covered.
Okay.
All right, because their two churches don't have outreach for Thanksgiving.
This for morning, or
it'll still be same time. I mean, yeah, we can back up to 11 if you want to. It's up to you.
Okay.
You decide.
We can do 11. I don't know where everybody going.
Okay. So we go 11, and then I'll get the outreach leaders' names and I'll put them in touch with you this week. Okay. And then y'all plan it, and then me, Sam, and Dawkins, we just show up and kiss babies.
And shake hands.
And shake hands.
So it's gonna be just like them, another community thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know how much I'm aiming for, and that's all it is.
Okay, up to you. Holiday party is the 21st. I think for the 21st it will just be us. Well, it'll be all our churches.
It's all our churches coming together.
Got it. All of our churches come together, and that time is 11 a.m. or is that 12 noon?
I think we have our party at
11. Okay. So
everybody in the Nook comes. Everybody that been volunteering and stuff.
Yeah, everybody
comes in.
Got it. All right, cool. So that'll be that for that. So moving from late fall to winter first quarter, you got November 3rd. Lady and I, we're gonna be out on the 30th. That's why I needed to mention this, because on November 30th, I think I haven't bought our plane tickets yet. We will be here for Nehemiah's Nook, and then we're gonna leave straight from the Nook and get on the plane, because Evans's service is at 5. So we'll probably be in here for an hour, and I'm probably going to fly us out of the flights at 2. They'll still get me there by 4:35. His service is at 6. So I'm installing I've done the training for his first set of deacons. So I'll be doing his deacons install on Saturday the 30th, and then preaching the service on December the 1st.
And where's that at?
That's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So from the 30th and the 1st, she and I will be in Tuscaloosa. The 2nd through the 7th, which should be that Saturday, she and I will be in Orlando. This is just going to be some downtime for me and her. Neither one of us have had no vacation breaks this year.
Whole week gone.
Yeah, we're going to be gone. Our anniversary's that week. We'll celebrate it that week and be out. She's made it very clear. Negro, get me out of Hampton Roads, Virginia. And I would put her on a cruise, but she don't like the boats. So we're gonna go down our timeshare and chill out. Then that Saturday night, we will be in Atlanta Saturday night with Kevin Pope and his church. That's another one of our churches. Kevin Pope and I will preach his anniversary, and then we'll be back on the plane that Sunday. We'll be back in town probably Sunday around 3 or 4. So I will assign somebody to preach that Sunday. Don't know who that will be yet, but I'll assign somebody. Okay. You and Cindy can tag, for as far as I'm concerned. You won't be here.
Well, work wise, November, the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So this is the schedule for this stuff. Nehemiah's Nook Christmas Party, 21st. December has 5 Sundays. The 29th is the 5th. We will have service on December 29th, the 5th Sunday. New Year's Eve is Tuesday the 31st. We will have a joint service with St. John's and Triumph, an early service at 7:30. So we're looking to be out of there by 9:30 on New Year's Eve night. We won't be there long. 10 may be the latest we'll get out because Sam's got a lot of older members. And so even with our older members, minus you, Mary, because you spry. You're not the typical elderly person around here.
Oh, I'm not elderly. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still 25.
I got you. You carry yourself like that too.
Where's that service going to be held?
St. John's. So St. John's is going to host again. If there's a change, I've already told them I cannot host because of the heat situation, and there's too many people to fit inside of our chapel. January 8th through the 29th will be our time of consecration. So we'll start on that Wednesday, the 8th, and we'll go to the 29th. And we'll gather on Wednesdays and Fridays to pray, some of them virtual, some of them in person. We really have got to do a better job as a church in terms of corporate prayer gathering together. A weak and anemic church is a church that does not pray. We have to pray. So since we only had 2 people who showed up that met me over at Darren Johnson's church this last Wednesday night, the 2 Sheilas. This Wednesday night, I want our church, all of our church, to be together in prayer this Wednesday night, October the 9th. Okay. So this Wednesday night, October the 9th, prayer in our chapel. And then we'll be together on Friday night over at St. John. Okay. That will be the launch of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. We'll just have a night of repentance that night, on October the 9th. For January Vision Night, we'll do that on Wednesday the 29th as we close out our consecration and prayer. Then we'll do a Begin Again Leadership Weekend, January 31st and February 1st. That's a Friday and Saturday. So 31st, 7:30, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Okay. That'll be for that. Here are 2. Let me back up. Go ahead.
No, I just needed you to go back to that slide.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to 2 possible events for us. Of course, I've already talked about Relationship Weekend. This will include singles, marrieds, and next time around couples. It's going to culminate with a citywide covenant marriage ceremony. It's aimed at couples who've been living together and haven't been married and are not married. This is for now. This one will be for natural born women and natural born men. What I'm thinking about is I thought about utilizing the Hampton Room across from Mangoes. And then I'm not sure on that yet just because of budget, but Relationship Weekend stuff, I will streamline this down for, heterosexuals. I'll figure out how to say that. And we'll, as we go further, we'll talk about as a group about how we market that, how we do that. So that'll be a weekend that'll, maybe Friday night may be singles night. Saturday during the day, we'll have breakouts for every kind of dynamic you can think of. And then on that Sunday afternoon, we'll have a ceremony. And you'll be surprised I've just mentioned this in different spaces. And people are like, man, I've been with my girl 10 years. I know we need to get married. Rev, I just ain't trying to spend a whole lot of money. Dudes are a trip. He was like, Rev, if you hold that, I'll be there. I was on the phone with 2 guys yesterday. And so, yeah, I'm going to figure out how we're going to market that, what it will look like. That'll be an all hands on deck kind of thing. So then you have this as another possible event. I know, sure, you talked about Super Bowl party. So the idea is to utilize Super Bowl party If you think about what we did downstairs with the Nook, I wanted to test it out with our television. And so now we can see that our television works there inside of Nehemiah's Nook. We can do the whole food thing. I'll have those other 2 TVs working, or we can go upstairs. We've got 2 new 64 with that. I don't think that's, what is that up there now? That's a 50, another 50. But and then we have another 65-inch that also is a smart television, whereby which we could do some of this stuff. The idea is to utilize these events as registration toward our relationship weekend. So on the night we have a Super Bowl party, we advertise to our community. This is a part of the relationship building thing. Okay. Let them come to the Super Bowl. We have to advertise it's non-alcoholic and no smoking. Okay. We got to advertise it that way. But then we let people come in, and adults can be in one space. Kids can hang in another.
We could do the adults downstairs and the kids upstairs.
That's what I'm thinking. But we still got TVs in both places.
Because we can still do something, we can do pizza or whatever for the kids.
And then potluck downstairs,
Yeah.
We can have wings. We can lay that out. And we really make it evangelistic. I mean, we start advertising for it in December.
Okay.
Get registration names, who's coming, how many in your family, that kind of thing. Make it a whole Jersey night, regardless of what's going on. Playoffs haven't started yet, that kind of thing. So we use a Super Bowl party to make it a real deal evangelistic thing with our 900 name list and the power of social media to do that. And then our reach is going to utilize our area, upstairs and downstairs in Nehemiah's Nook. The other thing from a discipleship standpoint, discipleship wise, I want to use the launch of Worldview U. It'll either be on Tuesday and Thursday. It's 8-week curriculum, syllabus oriented, digital discipleship. It'll be either Zoom or StreamYard platform. Full registration for it, learning how to live life through heaven's lens. We tend to think culturally rather than biblically on cultural issues. And I want to talk to us about how to develop a Christian ethos from a biblical perspective on cultural issues of our time. It'll go from February the 18th all the way through April the 8th or April the 15th. It's either going to be on Tuesday night, Thursday night. It'll be online. I may have 1 or 2 sessions in person. We'll see. It'll be open not only to our church, but this is going to be community wide. I'm taking the steps now to walk toward the full Dominion Bible College and Academy through Worldview U. We'll have to take a break in May and June. We'll do another session in July and August, take another break, and another session in October. This is going to kind of be in lieu of our Bible study. And I'm going to talk about Bible study in just a few minutes here. So the Kojic events for 2025, the consecration meeting and oil service happens in January. Golden is not determined what weekend it's going to be yet. He'll let us know that on Friday and who is going to host that. I think it will be somewhere on the peninsula. It very well could be at St. John's, or we could be utilizing the atrium at Bethel Temple. The workers meeting in March, that one will probably be back at New Jerusalem. And this is where Mary and Cheryl, you guys will get your certificates. You'll be announced here, but you'll get your certificates in the actual workers meeting. Okay. The auxiliary, which is AIM, that'll take place in June. Convocation will be in August next year. Those are the events for 2025. I will put dates to those, but these are the months in which they happen. There are a couple of little other small things in between there. There's some couple of General Assembly meetings that I would need to attend, but you guys will not need to attend those. At least not yet anyway. So there's no November meeting, but December's meeting will be tentative. It'll happen right in the middle of the month, not at the beginning, since Lady and I will be out. So we'll probably look at maybe the 14th, since our Nook gathering is the 21st. So I need some time to be able to meet with us in that regard. That's all I have to cover for today for us. And so that is that. Let's do all questions now. Comments, questions, concerns.
I just have a couple of things about
Sure.
the Dominion Camp meeting.
Speak loud enough so everybody can hear you for the recording
For the
purposes.
Dominion Camp meeting,
Yep.
we just need to make sure Last year, it was the very first night was kind of chaotic because we had video issues and all of that,
Mhm.
and we weren't able to properly.
Mhm.
So, with your permission, if we could try, everybody that's serving, if we can all try to be here between 6:30 and 7.
Yep.
And cover the house.
Yep.
And be in place.
Yep.
When our visitors arrive.
Yep.
We will need security.
Okay.
In place. We will need greeters and ushers.
Yep.
In place.
Yep.
I kind of voluntold Sister Mary, if she is not
You might
running.
have the camera, right?
The camera is here now.
Okay.
Anyway, I had asked her if she would be the
voluntold.
Well, yeah. So anyway, I had voluntold her if she would be the ministerial escort, just to make sure people are here. But I will get some people in place for that as well.
Okay.
And then I know we had Sister Donna in place to prepare refreshments each night for the bishop's conference room.
Mhm.
Did you want something for before and after, or just after?
Let's do both. And whatever it is that we have, we can let that be for after.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because we're not gonna do the downstairs thing.
Right.
It'll just be back there in the conference room. Whatever we have that's in there before, that's what we'll utilize, and we'll come right back to that for after.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Each night. Yeah. I may do a little something more on Mike's night. Depends on. Let me double check with him and see how late he's planning on staying. It could be good to have a plated meal in that way, with leaders in there. I'll double check with him. His father had a terrible car accident. Ribs, broke a couple of ribs, and so they had to rush him to the hospital. He's alive, he's fine, coherent, but he's having to do a lot of tending to his dad right now and household stuff that he normally, his father normally does. I'm doing the exact same, and I'll share this. Let this stay with us as I'm sharing this. My dad had 2 falls in the last 2 weeks. I would say probably last 6 days. So my sister and I are in a place where we're moving toward in-home care for him. My father, you know what I'm dealing with. Okay. So here's some great news, and Mary and Cheryl, I'll talk with you all a little more about this in terms of visitation work and that kind of thing, and receiving some compensation for that, just as we're registering some things with the state. And so, he has had some falls. Let's keep it among leadership. Let's not go congregation wide. But I want you guys to know, my mother is highly stressed out, and she's been trying to tend to him in that way. And so whenever something like that happens, she calls me. I'm right there. Sometimes she don't call me, and I'm like, anytime something like that happens, you gotta call me. So he's had a couple of MRIs done. The next one is the interpretation of the brain MRI. We think he's having these little mini micro seizures, which is causing stoppages of communication down the spine, thus the stiffness that you see with him. And so he's been very clear with me. He don't care what it is. He don't want no more surgeries. Ain't nobody cutting, pulling, tugging, that kind of thing. And I'm trying to work with him through that. If it's lower body, then we can do something with hips and have another surgery. Let's do that so that there's mobility, and black men of that age. So I'm kind of wrestling through that with him. Between myself and Wesley, we're doing a lot of tending to him right now. And then Mary and Shirley will talk to you all about some stuff that Lady and I want to kind of loop you all in. You all have seen him anyway, or at least Mary has, in terms of going by the house. So y'all know. So I'm not expecting him to die anytime soon. But I'm just being honest with you. He is very clear to always say to me all the time, I ain't going nowhere, I'm gonna be here. So that's kind of where that is. So I said that to say, both of us, Mike and I, we're dealing with our dads right now. So on that night, he may preach and head out of here, and it may not be a need for dinner, that kind of thing. And I'll check with him to see. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? let's let Erica finish first, and we come to you, Mary.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
in the case of your dad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I know maybe you might not be as close to them as I am.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me a call, I can always go to the house.
Good. And see, Wednesday, when I had to go to do the thing for Darren's, he fell then, and we did not. My phone was on silent. Lady's phone was on silent. So I'm getting some kind of special ring vibration, something for when my mother calls me, and I've just gotten them a new cell phone as
I'm less
well.
than 5 minutes away.
So that might be the deal. But Wesley is also close. So if I can't get there, you know, Gene, he knows you, he knows Wesley. My dad ain't gonna let. He just is who he is. The men around here that he knows, he will let them come and help him. But he's not gonna have, you know, any and everybody. That's just who he is. So I'll probably loop you in too, Gene, along with Wes, between going to appointments and things. Anything else?
With Bishop Golden coming on Friday night,
Mhm.
I know there are some protocols
Sure. Yeah.
that are expected.
Yeah. Let's kind of go through some of that.
Yes, please.
So it is it's a very, very simple thing. If we have greeters and ushers that are in place, ministerial adjutancy to escort them back to my office. On that night, a lot of the superintendents will come. So here's who should be in the conference room. What you want to look for are, and I need to talk to him to see if we're actually going to be official that night in civic, or if we're just going to kind of be in business class. If we're in business class, what you want to look for are black cords, purple cords. If you see black cords, purple cords, and what I'll do is I'll have Scaife get in touch with you, Erica, and Mary, and say, give me a list of names of everybody that's coming on Mike's night. Those are the names of persons who are going to be, they will be able to go to the bishop's conference room, to my conference room in the back. Okay. And Fenner, you know a lot of these faces already, don't you? Yeah. So he can help with that. We will sit them on the second and third row on my side. So our superintendents will sit on the second row and third row on my side. And then the admins can sit on the row with me and Bishop Golden. So then that should be nobody but, I don't think nobody but, you know, Daniels is coming and Ward. There'll be those two. And so they will sit on the row along with Bishop Green, Philip Green. I don't think Braxton is coming. He ain't doing too well with his hips right now. I know he ain't coming. And I don't think Campbell is coming because it's late at night and Campbell can't see that well. So on that front row will be myself, Bishop Golden, Ward, and Daniels. And then the rest of the superintendents on the second and third row. On the other side, we'll have to clean it up a little bit. But that first row over there, just like Lady Lori Sellers when she comes, she sit over there with Lady. And we'll have Sunita manage that, and then we'll clean that area up to make sure that's straight. So other than that, and on
What? To do that. That should be doing video. I'll get some video.
either way, Lori Sellers will be here. Clarence is probably not bringing a whole lot of. Well, no, when he comes here, he brings his church. So they will be here, but it won't necessarily be nobody coming to the back but him and maybe 2 or 3 of his adjutants, and they'll all be dressed with tabbed collars on. So if you see that, you can escort them back to the conference room, and then he'll determine who stays and who goes. Other than that, we should be fine. And Darren Johnson will be coming. Tamara, y'all know her. She will be here. And 1 or 2 of their adjutants, they'll determine who comes and who doesn't. If we got, I don't think we're going to have too many of them. But like, let's say Bishop's night, he may say, Ray, put superintendents and adjutants, and I'll let you know who should be in the back with us. Then we'll utilize this room. Okay. And I'll let you know that ahead of time. And of course, both Chris and Nicole can tell you. And so I'll do a round email between the 2 of us, the 3 of us, and then they'll say, this is who we got coming, that kind of thing. So long as people are on post, We're escorting people to the back. We're escorting people to this room. So if you would go suit and tie that whole week. I know you hate it.
Hey, let's go.
But you gotta go. If you go black suit and tie the whole week, and then I hit you with my black cord, you'll be good.
Wear black.
Yeah. We'll all wear black.
Just black the whole week. Yeah. Go ahead, finish. Okay. So we should be straight. Other than that, we'll be good to go. Okay. Any other thoughts, questions?
Just little notes. I'm wearing black. We did good with the back school, going back to school supply. We passed out 110 book bags.
Wonderful for our little church.
We have
Great.
100 book bags already.
Yes,
to
toward
start
next year.
off with.
Good.
We talked about the Thanksgiving with the New Hope. Only thing we have to provide is the building.
Okay.
They taking everything, that decoration, everything.
Good.
Our numbers for the Nook has moved up. We doing 40 now.
40. Good.
Has
So
moved up a whole lot.
We're heading back to where we normally are.
I missed that.
Yeah.
December, I would just like for everyone to start reaching out to your friends, family, workers, to start bringing in the donations.
Yeah.
For the Christmas.
What are we doing this year? Are we doing shoes again? Are we doing
The
clothes?
theme is stuff the backpack.
Okay.
I want the regular backpacks because that's what they coming in asking for. Because most of them homeless.
Right.
So that's what I like. And we stuffing them with personal hygienes.
Okay.
Regular personal hygienes and socks, underwears, what's on the list that we advertise every week.
Let's go ahead and I know I've been having the thing up on the screen, but let's get a box that people can come and drop stuff in by the Sunday. Let's have a box that they can put them in by the Sunday. What would be good is
Go ahead.
I got some stuff, Shirley, I can start with. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it to church tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'll show people by example. This is what the thermal underwear look like. This is what the type of socks we need. And then that way we can start putting it inside of our box. Because our online group of people will get involved with that.
This is just a question because my granddaughter hit my little piggy bank. Fourth Sunday, can we have the change jar? Some churches I noticed do that. Because she came in and robbed my penny jar because she didn't have no change to take to church with her. And that's what they do on the fourth Sunday. They have a big container and you just
put change in it. I'm fine with that. Which is to say, I do want to implement this month, fourth Sunday, all young people. So we need a facilitator. Margaret, Shay don't think I know she sings, but she does. So we need facilitator. We need ushers, greeters, and I'm even okay with. I think I may shock y'all. I know some young preachers. I'll bring some young preachers in. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, it can be a little 10-minute inspirational kind of thing. All right, let's push for that this Sunday and get all of our young people involved. Lady, I'm going to task you and Margaret to kind of farm that out and staff that. So, and then get in touch with Erica and let her know who's going to serve where and do what on that day. Fourth Sunday this month, and let's keep that as a pattern. That way we're engaging our young people and making sure that they're involved. And, matter of fact, Sheila had her son speak one time. We can do that again. Every fourth Sunday, I want a young person, inspirational message, and then I can do the Q&A thing behind that. Okay? Any other questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? All hearts and minds clear. I'm going to end the stream of this for now, and then I'll get back in touch with us on a couple of other thoughts.